It's the NFL on EA Sports as we welcome you into Paycor Stadium on the riverfront here in Cincinnati. Tonight it's the second of our Monday night doubleheader as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. It's the first weekend of autumn and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now the fourth-year man, it's Cam Akers. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. You talk about this Bengals defense. They were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a 1st down.
And that's how you get started and open up a game. Really well-blocked play. Picked up a nice chunk of yardage. If you're the offensive line, that's exactly what you've talked about all week long in your meetings. Establish the line of scrimmage and take control. And they gave their running back plenty of room to rumble.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's Zachary Carter hitting the backfield and ending that play before it began.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Stafford. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Well, this defense for the Bengals, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. That's kind of a double whammy. I mean, the interception on the opening drive, that's one thing, but to give him this field position, that's another.
Absolutely perfect start for this defense. They take the ball away on the opening possession. They know that their offense will get the ball to start the 2nd half. They line them up in field goal position, and to me, they got a chance for a touchdown right here out of the gate.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Now a 3-time 1,000-yard rusher, Joe Mixon. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Here we go.
Here's Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Burrow now off the bootleg. And his throw is incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you got a key on, because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
I'm one, ready?
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time here with Brown. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bengals take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Evan McPherson now for the PAT. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2? Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Now he's loose down the middle of the field, inside the 20. Touchdown, LA! Cam Akers, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Rams are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, 1 play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, 1 play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Charlie Jones now from his end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 33, here's a 2nd down and 6. Now it's Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And Higgins is going to have a Bengals first down as he's up to the 43. First catch of the game by Higgins, and he's got his guys a first down. The Bengals at 2-0 here to begin the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here we go, here we go.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins now inside the 25. Touchdown! T. Higgins, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
On first down at Stafford. He'll dump this off to Akers. And he caught it up. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. And the Rams are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Stafford. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and it's now 21-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 141 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half. Going right back to Akers. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path there.
The Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep and a run up the middle with Mixon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now, we all know that an offensive coordinator and a quarterback, they're aligned at the hip. But when you've got a runner who can get you that kind of yardage, that guy's invaluable.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Burrow on play action. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. Only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. On 1st down, Stafford here. That's out to the flat for Akers. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 45-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and 1. Now Stafford. That's into the hands of Tutu Atwell. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
8-yard pickup. And the Rams first down.
Stafford looks to throw again. Middle of the field to Jefferson. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. To the air again, Stafford. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield, try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
1-1, ready?
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10.
Stop.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Ready?
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Got a man open, it's Chase. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Here we go.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 93 yards rushing here from Mixon. He's got a first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Here we go. 11 MT, 11 MT.
Now Burrow on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
On 2.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, we got to go score. Stop.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 36 yards out. McPherson's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head
Final
down to
adjustments
Orlando,
being made for the
find our
second
man,
half.
Jonathan
Whether they'll
Coachman
amount to
at
much
our
of the
EA
game,
Sports
it's already
halftime
pretty well
report.
decided.
Coach.
Well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
At their own 26-yard line.
I'm one. Ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. Mixon will get it to start the second half. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 31, here's second and 6. Once again, they run with Mixon. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here we go. Here we
In
go.
search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Burrow. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Get set.
Mixing up the middle. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Here we go. Here we
Ball
go.
right on the 50-yard line. Here's second and 4. An inside give, Brown. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. That's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game.
Now Burrow loses the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. On first down, they'll start out with Akers. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
25-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now Stafford. To the right side and complete to Atwell. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
Gain on the play. First down, Los Angeles.
Inside 4 minutes to go. 3rd quarter.
Ready to move.
Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 159 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself how much of that is him with a great performance and how much of that is the defense just loosening up because they have a big lead.
That'll give him 8 that time, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does. Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Stafford on 1st down. He'll check this down to Akers out of the backfield. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
White.
Now it's Stafford. Complete. Jefferson the target. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
And the Rams 1st down.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Back to throw, Stafford. And a little floater there is incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. He'll get this one complete to Atwell. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Stafford. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And the Rams are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Williams is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Stafford. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
Here's Akers. They try and run.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a decent gain on the ground. Call it 6, but it still leaves him with a ways to go on 4th and goal. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that...
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA.
Van Jefferson
from 10 yards out.
And the Rams' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut this to a 17-point spread.
Rams 14. Taylor Brown, the kickoff for the Rams.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
On 1, ready?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on.
And some oohs and ahs from the crowd as he jukes his way forward for a couple of yards. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to. Right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score. But they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
That's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And this time not quite to the 30. Will be down at the 31-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The all-everything defensive tackle, Aaron Donald, the one who made the play there.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. He's got room to roam. And finally, wrestled down at the 11th. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. And they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
This is Brown going up the middle. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now 2nd and 9 from the 10.
11.
Right back to Brown. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Here we go.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They will toss to Brown. And he is going to lose yardage here. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
A 25-yard attempt.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
27 on the play. First down, Rams.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Stafford. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. The pressure
pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Out of the gun, Stafford. Under pressure, and they got to him again. B.J. Hill able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here comes the Rams punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called for and taken just inside the 10-yard line. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals.
So they came in here facing a very tall task going against the NFL's #1 ranked defense, but they got the job done. Charles, really an outstanding performance.
They certainly showed that they weren't going to be intimidated, didn't they? They took out the best defense in the NFL today, took it right to them, and that's against a group of guys that is used to shutting people down. To me, this is going to be a signature moment for this team season.
So for the Bengals, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.